Good morning, CWCC. Welcome to Girls Club, the Colorado Women's Chamber version of the Boys Club, only ours is much cooler.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. I have with me today a dear friend and someone that I just enjoy spending so much time with, Lori Cornetta. Lori, thank you for being with us today, and thank you for taking the time to do this. Tell our crowd all about you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so honored to be here talking with you, Kristen. Thank you so much. And back at you, friendship and working with you is phenomenal. I'm very grateful. I've written a book. I have a background in sales. I sold for many years and I've been a sales coach. I've been in sales of radio, television advertising, and went into medical device. And I believe more women should be making six figures, and that's kind of what I want to talk about with you today.
You know, it's interesting. We've talked so much about this, and you know, even from my perspective, sales gets a bad rap, especially from women, right? Because we feel like we're doing these things that we weren't raised to do, like pushy, persistent. Talk a little bit about that and how that keeps women out of sales.
I think that, it's interesting. I think some people have preconceived notions about of what a salesperson is because we've seen it modeled, that one salesperson that follows you around a store to try to sell you something and you're like, please, I just want to zone out and look at stuff. Or, when purchasing a big item and the person is too pushy. And I think we think of those first, but they're, to back up a little bit and talk about my belief in women and why we are innately gifted for sales is we are insightful. We can read a room.
Right.
We can pick up on the smallest nuances of expression or gesture. And we can pivot with those understandings. I believe it's very clear that women are psychologically suited to succeed in sales. And I think the more women think about this and get it on their radar as a career, I mean, even women that haven't been in sales before, maybe they've been home taking care of children or elderly parents and they want to get back in the workforce, there's an opportunity to be in sales coming out of college. And there's so many places that women can get into sales and be extremely successful.
So talk about because even, hearing you say it, because clearly I have to do sales, right? I mean, it's my job to sell the Colorado Women's Chamber and I'm very proud of what I do, but I have to tell you, the things.
Can I just say shout out to Colorado Women's Chamber of Commerce. Yeah. It is a fantastic place. It is so wonderful for women, like even just what you're doing here. I mean, all you do to develop women and help women get even better in the workforce is just phenomenal. So I just had to shout out.
Well, back at you, because that's what you do too. I think for me though, Lori, and I don't know how you deal with this, but is it because and I go back to the norms that society puts on us, right? And how we're supposed to be pursued and not be the pursuer, and that feels better to be pursued, and the rejection, how you talk about how we're so great at reading a room and we're emotional creatures and all of those things. Sometimes I gotta say that can destroy me at times when I get a rejection, right? Because you take it so personally. And I'm trying not to generalize, but I am talking about myself. That really hurts.
Great point. And I think yes, it can be very tricky, and rejection. I mean, I've been rejected so many times in my life, it's whatever. Yeah. But I do think, yes, I do take, when I was selling, I do take it personally when I lose a deal, because it's something I missed or something I did wrong, or, maybe my product wasn't right, but I feel like only in sales, no means the customer needs more information. That's sales only. But I mean, I think, yes, I think it's difficult for anybody. I've worked with a lot of men, sales reps, coaching, men and women. And quite frankly, everybody looks at, a lot of people look at rejection the same way. And I also feel like women we're better in sadly, we're better in masking what we really are thinking, and that actually pays off in sales.
Hmm.
It's not great growing up that way and
Right.
how you truly feel and not saying, a lot of women struggle with finding their voice because they've had to push that down and not show. But in sales, it actually works out better because you can manage a situation better and get the customer to follow along better if you're not exactly putting everything out there. So
What's like, if I'm a woman, well, I am a woman, but like if I'm thinking about a career, because so many women are right now, right? Like there's a ton of women leaving the workforce and just kind of trying to figure out what we want to do. If I'm thinking that this might be a career path for me, what do I do?
buy my book.
Yay, which is why we're here.
Promoting my book. Buy my book. No, I mean, I think that, first of all, if you have someone that that is a salesperson that you respect and you feel like has integrity, male or female, it doesn't matter. Talk to them. Talk to them what they like about the job, what they don't like about the job. And I would say start watching people who are selling to you. See what they do that you like, see what they do that kind of turns you off. I would say, pick up a few books and read about sales. Think about what you love in your life. Maybe, for someone who loves looking at homes and looking at houses and, design, all that kind of jazz, maybe real estate sales is in your future.
Right.
I would just say, what are you interested in? What do you love? And kind of think about that, because to me, it's important when you're selling something that you, number one, are interested in it, believe in it. I mean, the greatest products I ever sold was a television station here that was phenomenal. It was the best in the city, the whole market. Medical device, I sold for a fabulous medical device company that had tremendous products. I mean, I would say find things that you love and then look into that.
That's great. Well, so let's get into the nitty gritty of the interview, the questions that I asked.
I thought we just did the nitty gritty.
No. That's the easy part. That's the easy part.
Okay, I gotta go.
This is the vulnerable part, which I love about this, because I think that women learn so much from other women when we talk about times when we've struggled and come out of them. We're just fantastic, strong creatures. And so we chose these questions because I think that there's a lot of teaching in them. But, as you and I spoke, I want to kind of focus these ones on, your experience and your career in sales, because I know that a lot of people that are listening to this are going to be in business development and sales, and I want them to learn from this. So what's a time in your life when you've persevered, and how did you get through it? Tell us a doozy.
Okay. So great question. Fabulous question. Let me just tell you, as a salesperson, perseverance is like my middle name, because I've had to do it in my career selling myself, which you want to talk about putting yourself out there and being told no, that's hard. And then selling products that, somebody doesn't want to buy, or it's not the time or whatever. So but the biggest one that comes to mind, and this took over 4 years, was I wanted to sell for the number one station in the market, and I lived somewhere else. So it included moving across country. It included taking 2 other jobs to get to this one particular company.
Wow.
And being told, every time I'd get to this one level, I'd be told, no, you don't have this. Like, for instance, you don't know this market. Okay, I moved, got into the market. Well, you don't know television. Okay, so I went to work for a smaller TV station for a year. Then I had to come back. Then the person was promoted. I had to interview with a new manager. And this particular manager, thank heavens, was a very forward thinker and said, yep, come on board. And you know what happened my first year there? I won Account Executive of the Year because I drummed up so much new business. So perseverance. I don't know, I've sold a customer. It took me one of my surgeons that I was trying to sell. It took me almost 5 years to convert his business. I converted the entire hospital around him. It took, I think it was close to 5 years to get him converted. So I will tell you that perseverance in sales, and even in what you want. What do you want as a
Right.
salesperson? Do you want to crush it? Do you want to live well? What are your goals? And then I say, just go get it. Just go get it.
How were you so laser focused? I hear that so often from women, like, well, I don't really know what I want to do, or I don't know, like, how did you I want this and I'm going to get it. Like, how did you formulate that plan?
So, I mean, to me, like every year I put down 3 personal goals and 3 business goals. And those were it. I found an old one, like when I was doing this book, and it was, I think I wrote them on the back of a napkin, the big Vanity Fair napkins, like the back of one of the, I think I just grabbed that. I was like, I'm putting my goals down. So I wrote them down. It was beat up as all get out, the piece of paper or the piece of cardboard. But I thought, I put this in the book. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You don't have to write it on a fancy piece. Just work it, do it. Pick 3 things, pick what you want to achieve, and then just go get it and give it all you've got. And, like something that my motto has been for years is be relentless of your quest. Whatever you want, be relentless get to that. Be relentless in your quest. So whatever it is you want, go get it. And, because you're the only one that's going to make it happen. And as women, you said that beautifully at the beginning. I don't want to beat it up, but we are very strong. We are very brave. The stuff that we do every day. I mean, there are women right now that are going to listen to this. They already have all of this. They just need to do it. We have so much walking in the door. And like I said, I believe we are so psychologically suited to crush it in sales, to make 6 figures. And then like we were talking about before, you and I, we need to get more women into leadership. We need to make the big money, and then we need to get more into leadership because we've got such a different way of looking at things and we come at it so differently. But that's what we need in business. We need more people that are thinking that way.
Well, it's interesting, Lori, just to hear you say that, because one of the things that I hear from women a lot is when they go for these particular roles as they're trying to grow into leadership, oftentimes we don't have revenue associated with our roles, right? So we tend to be in HR or marketing or some of these roles that are great, but they don't have revenue associated with them. So when you do sales, you have revenue associated with your role. So you're probably more likely to get into leadership from there because you know what it takes to bring money to the bottom line.
Perfect, exact 100%. And not only that, when you're bringing in revenue, you have more momentum to ask for what you want. And say, because quite frankly, as a producer, if your company says, well, we're keeping so-and-so, Johnny Schmaltz in this position because his dad was in this position before you, it's like, okay, well, you know what? Then this isn't the spot for me. You go to another company and you say, look, I have exponentially increased their revenue every year. Here's the amount it's gone up every year. 30%, 40%, whatever. And I want a shot at, working for you. The point is, I'm going to come in here and I'll sell for you. But after a year, I'm going to be in leadership. So, that's how we do it. So you take that momentum from the company that won't put you in, and you show your numbers, what you've done, what you're doing, and you go somewhere that they are going to promote you into leadership.
Right.
So, but yeah, when you are a producer and you're bringing in money, you have a lot more clout,
Right. Absolutely.
a lot more clout.
So repeat your motto again. So what's a motto you live
Oh,
by? You said it, but is
be
that the
relentless.
motto?
Yeah, be relentless in your quest. Everybody I've coached, I've coached people for over 20 years. I tell them that just be relentless in your quest. Figure out what it is, like we were talking about a little earlier. Figure out those three things or that one thing and be relentless in your quest. Go get it.
We got to end on that because there's no better advice. Lori, show us your book again and where can we go get it?
Thank you. It's available wherever books are sold,
Yay.
Amazon, you can buy it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, anywhere, just anywhere that books are sold. It's all online. Everything's online. So you wouldn't walk into the store and find it, but you can find it all online. And thank you so much for this fabulous platform. I love having girl talk. And
Yes, you're welcome.
I hope more women after this will at least think more about getting out there and making more money, because there's no reason we shouldn't be.
Oh, thank you so much, Lori. And just, plug for you. Lori is working with me and helping me refine my sales process, and she's fantastic. So
You're the best. I love
thank
working
you.
with you. You're fantastic and just a tremendous leader, and you inspire all of us, Kristen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lori. We appreciate you.
All right. Thanks. Take care. Bye, everybody.